Welcome to the repair shop, where cherished family heirlooms are brought back to life.
This is the workshop of dreams.
Home to furniture restorer J. Blades.
Nowadays, everybody spends a fortune on stuff that once it's broken, they just bin it. But everybody has something that means too much to be thrown away, and that's where we come in.
Working alongside Jay will be some of the country's leading craftspeople.
Every piece has its own story. It's amazing to think that some of my work becomes part of that story.
I've always played with things, I've always repaired things, and I just love it.
There is a real pleasure in bringing people's pieces back to life again.
Each with their own unique set of skills.
I can't wait to get started.
They will resurrect, revive,
Come on, man!
and rejuvenate. Treasured possessions and irreplaceable pieces of family history.
Wow!
Bring in both the objects...
She's fantastic!
That's just taken me back 50 years.
...and the memories that they hold...
Oh, yes!
...back to life.
Oh, my God!
In the repair shop today, a risky fix for Steve as he renovates an 85-year-old steamroller.
The whole tank could rupture, and then boiling hot water could spurt everywhere.
So it could blow up.
Yeah.
And the delicate art of cutting glass. With master craftsman Matt.
Just felt that go, and my fingers, it's all going to come apart. It's all breaking.
Hello.
The first visitor today is Jane Moore.
What do we have here?
With something for saddle maker Suzie Fletcher. Jane's dropping off some design classics, a gift from her mother.
So, tell me about these then. Where have they come from?
Well, probably about 35 years ago, my uncle found them in the street, dumped with a load of rubbish.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, in Kensington, Liverpool.
Okay.
And Mum loved them, and he gave them to my mum, who had them for years. They are Les Arcs chairs that were designed for a very exclusive French ski lodge.
Yeah.
But as you can see, they've been a little bit loved and well used.
Yeah, they've been well used.
And have much in need of a bit of a restoration.
So where have you been storing them?
In the attic.
Oh.
Yeah.
And because they're not... you can't sit on them anymore.
My husband is ex-military and he's health and safety dad. Oh. So when I sat on them, he heard it go.
Right.
So he said they either go in the skip or they go away in the attic. And I'd fought with him a few times to keep them from the skip.
Right.
And so this is the ideal opportunity and compromise. I really would love to have them back in some kind of loved condition.
So does your mum know you're going to get these restored?
Yeah, Mum, over the last 8 years, has been on a dementia journey, so she's in a nursing home now. She'd be delighted that we're restoring them.
OK.
Because they brought her joy.
Yeah.
They certainly brought us a lot of joy in our home.
Yeah.
I just think having them back to their former glory, I think she'd be made up to think that something that one of her treasures was being restored. The leather's gone dry, the stitching obviously is gone. They need love and need to bring back to as much of a pristine
get all
condition.
this paint off.
Some things are best left to the experts.
Yeah, well, that's Suzie. She is the expert. What do you reckon, Suzie?
Very excited to get going on them, actually. I think we sew all the seams.
OK.
And all of them are in a similar state, so it's going to take a little while to get them all finished, get them back into regular use.
Does that sound all right?
Sounds perfect.
Thank you for bringing these along.
Pleasure.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Jane. Nice to meet you.
Mum has dementia now and is at the point where her memory isn't there at all. So for one of her treasures that she's brought home, restore that little piece of her, it would be lovely to have it back again.
These are nice, aren't they?
They are.
Hey?
Really, really nice.
And these are being thrown away.
I find that really amazing that anyone would think about throwing something so beautiful away. And the leather itself,
yeah.
I mean, you just know it's got quality about it.
I like the design. The design is quite cool. Simple, but classic.
It's extremely simple.
OK, so it's not going to get done here. Got to get it to your bench.
Yep.
You take that one.
Brilliant.
And I'll have these two.
Super.
OK?
These distinctive chairs were created in the 1960s and used to furnish the stylish Les Arcs ski resort in France. The chair is heralded as an important example of modernist design and is highly prized when in good condition.
The nice thing about a project like this is you have to figure out how it was all put together, so you do the reverse to take it all apart. And my feeling is the last thing they did was rivet the leather on, so it's the first place I'm going to start. Then I'll remove all of the stitching because all has to be replaced. You can see how rotten the thread is, and it's just popping out. The next step, what I'm going to do is to start oiling the leather, wiping it on, and you can instantly see how the leather's beginning to darken down. Leather is like your skin, so it needs to be moisturised regularly. The thing is with aged leather, if it's been stored somewhere and not regularly conditioned and cleaned, it will dry out just through the heat. And also, if it's in a damp area, it can grow mould. The next step, once this has been absorbed, is to put on the leather conditioner. And the conditioner is more of a grease. I'm going to leave it sit overnight, let the oil sink in. So tomorrow it'll be a lot more malleable, so I can start really putting it back together.
Next into the workshop is German-born engineer Dieter, with a precious family heirloom that may test the skills of horologist Steve Fletcher.
Hi, Dieter. I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve. Nice to meet you.
Come over here.
Thank you.
Right, what have we got?
We got a steamroller.
Oh, right. Oh, that's fantastic.
Here it is. And you need these ones too.
What wonderful looking piece. Tell me a bit about it.
Well, this has been in our family for about 85 years. It was given to my dad when he was probably 12 years old.
Oh, right, OK.
Yeah. And, you know, he's given that to me when I was about 18 years old. He was an engineer, and I was going to study engineering, and so he felt that was right to give it to me,
yes.
Rather than giving to any of my three brothers. My intention actually is now to do exactly the same. I've got three kids, and my son is an engineer too, which makes me proud, and I'd like to give it to him. Just as a gesture as well, you know, how proud I am for what he's achieved.
That's lovely.
But the last time I've seen it in operation has been in the 70s.
OK. Did you play with it often? Well, if you were given it when you were 18, you probably did.
Yeah, I didn't play very much with it, but I treasured it, and it's travelled around with me. I've lived in so many countries. And each time this came with us.
OK. Did you ever think about having a go at getting it working yourself?
No, I didn't. I didn't really, you know, this is almost more fine mechanic. That's not really what I did. So.
OK, right.
So I'm not sure that I've got the right skill set to do this myself.
OK.
So you can just open this down here. It pops out. And actually the fuel, it used to run on liquid fuel that you put in there.
Yeah.
But then my dad and a colleague, they just converted this must have been in the 60s, so it can be used now with solid fuel.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a good idea. Very well done. So makes it a lot easier, a lot safer, actually.
It does make it safer.
What would you like me to do with it?
I'd really would love you to polish this, you know. I'm not sure if you can, but if you can, you know, that would be really nice, yes.
So you say that it's going to go on to your son.
Yes.
So it'd be nice for him to see it actually working.
It would be fantastic, because he has never seen it working.
Yeah.
He's seen it sitting there, but he hasn't seen it working, no.
Okay. This is a lovely piece, and I look forward to getting it working for you and polished up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
The Steamroller was made by German toy manufacturer Bing, the largest toy company in the world in the early 20th century. It was best known for its model trains and steam engines.
This is going to be quite an interesting project. I'm really pleased that Dieter has said that he'd like to see it polished up, because there's some soldering that I need to do to it. It's been soldered and repaired in the past, because there's quite a lot of solder has run down onto the main tank there. I'm really not sure at the moment about the main mechanics, but once I've taken it apart and looked at all that, I'll be able to then tell what sort of condition it's in.
So how are you getting on with Dieter's Steamroller?
No, I'm just about to start taking it apart, and I thought what I'd do is actually take apart the pressure release valve just to see whether that works, because if that doesn't work, then I've got to sort that out first.
So how come we can't just burn it and start it working?
If I didn't test it and it didn't work, the whole tank could rupture, and then boiling hot water could spurt everywhere.
So if you tested it and you put the water in, it could blow up?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got to check it's working before you do that, so you don't blow it up.
It is the most important thing on a steam engine.
Let me know if you need any help, but I know you've probably got it covered anyway, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
Jay has some other projects to check up on in the workshop. Leather expert Suzie has already spent hours treating the scarred and parched leather of the 3 designer chairs.
How you doing?
Hello.
Having fun?
I am. I'm really having fun here. It's one of my most favourite things to do. I'm absolutely thrilled with how this has come out, because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get them
Cool.
gone.
So it's brought a smile to your face.
It really has brought a smile to my face.
Yeah.
And now it's not like cardboard. You feel that? It's just beautiful.
Yeah. It's like leather now, isn't it?
It is like leather. So that's the seat, and this is the back.
Oh, this hasn't
So
been
this
worked on.
hasn't been worked on at all.
Wow.
You feel how dry that is. So it just shows that you can bring leather back to life.
OK.
Yeah.
So I can have a go. I can start one level on this, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep, yep. The key is once you've got the water on your cloth,
Yeah.
don't make it too wet.
Yeah.
So rinse it out. This is warm water.
Warm water, yeah.
You're going to rub it onto the saddle soap block,
Yeah.
and then you're going to go over very quickly, quick, and then start a circular motion, because we don't want to get any lines.
So like I'm waxing a car then?
Like you're waxing a car.
OK.
Yeah.
Is that all right to squeeze
Yeah.
that out?
Rub it on the block. And now you're going to whiz.
Whiz. And
Oh,
boom, boom, boom.
go.
OK.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing a great job there.
Told you. I've been watching you.
And it smells really nice, doesn't it?
It smells... there's a soap I used to use back in the 70s that smelled just like that. No, seriously.
Maybe you just had saddle soap.
Probably did. I was poor, you know. And my skin was quite rough those days.
Like leather.
Like leather. Needed softening up. So what do I do? How do I know I've got enough on there?
Well,
that to me looks all right.
it's looking really nice. We're going to be aiming to get it down to this tone. We're going to let it sit and dry, and then do another coat.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, I can leave you with that then.
Yes, you can.
Thank
I
you for
hope
letting
you
me do-
enjoyed yourself.
I did, immensely. All right.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Right. Whoosh.
With the leather panels now nourished and as soft as butter, Suzie can begin restitching them. She then tackles the rusted chrome frames.
They're in pretty good condition considering the age of them. I can simply clean them up with oil and some wire wool. In putting on this oil and letting it sink in, it just helps to lift all the little rusty spots up. And I use a wire wool that I also soak in the oil, and it's a case of just rubbing it over, not putting too much force on it. Make sure that there's no chance of scratching any of the chrome work at all. With chrome of this age, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to behave, so I don't want to be too aggressive with it.
This careful abrasion must be repeated on all 3 frames.
This particular frame, I've got some significant rusty spots and also some paint. And I feel that this is going to take many application of the oil and gently rubbing over and apply the oil again. I'm quietly confident it's going to come up beautifully. However, famous last words.
A new visitor to the repair shop. Canadian-born Truja Barkham, who now lives in Suffolk.
Hi there.
Truja has brought along a very delicate item in need of some expert restoration from master craftsman Matt Nichols.
I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Truja.
Right, nice to meet you, Truja. Wow, so what we got here?
So this is my father's stained glass window.
Wow, so this is a beautiful piece.
It's been a bit beaten up, unfortunately, on a move from house. It's quite broken everywhere, but it's very special. So I'm hoping you'll fix it.
Can you tell me a bit about the history of it?
My dad was a merchant seaman in the Dutch Royal Navy way back when, just after the war. So he was very keen on boats, as am I.
Yeah, so what inspired your dad to start making stained glass?
We used to live in a house in the city, and it had beautiful views over downtown Calgary. But on the side and at the back, there it overlooked other houses, and my dad didn't like that. And so he went and took a leaded glass window making course and made it this huge window to cover up this view so that he didn't have to look at the neighbour's house anymore. And then he really got the bug, and he would make many, many, many stained glass windows, So by the time he died in 1988, the house was covered in stained glass windows and everywhere.
I can really picture that. It's just really colourful, lovely view.
I just love it. Dad and I did a bit of the piece together, picked the colours way back when. I remember him drawing this, and I really liked it because of the boats. And so we did the colours together. And
I mean, the colours that you chose are really vibrant, really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you've got natural light coming from it.
Yeah, it is very pretty. And all of his work was really vibrant, I think he was inspired by his travelling around the world when he was young.
Yeah, all right. I mean, when I kind of first look at it and hearing the story, I really want to keep as much of it as possible, you know? You and your father had a hand in making it, choosing the colours, so I want to leave as much as I can.
Lovely.
There are obviously quite a few kind of missing bits.
Yes.
You know, around there, and this sail...
The sail has definitely... I don't know if you can get replacement glass for that bit, so that could all be still one piece.
I see what I can do with that. So, whereabouts is this going to go?
So we have a cottage in Suffolk, and it has an annex, which is actually where my mum stays when she comes to visit. And she's actually over at the moment. So what we're hoping is we can kind of surprise her and put this glass window up in the annex so she can wake up every morning and look at it.
That's brilliant.
I think for her to see a piece of my dad's work kind of living and breathing in my house will mean a lot to her. And it's quite emotional, really, because when I look at it, I just remember how happy he was when he was making them. I'd like it to look like Daddy's stained glass window again.
Leave it with me and I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. I'm so proud proud of my dad. When Matt said it was a beautiful piece of work, I mean, it's always just been Dad's work. It's vibrant and beautiful and a little bit quirky. And I'm really looking forward to it coming back to life.
Matt wants to salvage as much of the original lead work as possible. That means reshaping any bent metal to safely hold the glass in place.
As to, I'm going to check that my glass is going to fit. I think it will. Yeah. Right. In order to push this lead that way again, I think I'm going to try and take some of this putty out. But you can really see how the lead's like moving around and the glass is moving around. But there's definitely a lot of play in it. It's not a quick process. And that's one of the things, is that quite often with jobs like this, it looks fairly simple. You can only see a couple of cracks, but actually it takes quite a long time to get it done.
If Matt can't get the original lead to bend back into place, he'll have to re-lead from scratch.
Right, so let's have another look. So in order to get this in, I'm going to actually cut a tiny bit of the glass out. There we go. A tiny bit out. Yeah. So hopefully it's more likely to go in. Very close, isn't it? There we go. To be honest, that was the most difficult part there. Now I can push it back like that, so it's nice and comfortable in there, and then you roll down the edge of the lead like that.
Over on Steve's workbench, he's getting to grips with a 1930s toy steamroller that hasn't worked for around 40 years. The first thing he needs to do is check the engine's safety valve.
The nut that holds the spring seems to be quite loose. That adjusts the tension on it. And this is supposed to then just slip straight out. It's absolutely corroded up. So I'm going to try tapping it in the vise to see if I can just release it now. That's come out very well. I've got to clean it all up, make sure that it slides really easily, and also I've got to put a new rubber washer in there, which will, when that springs down, it will then form a seal, and then the steam won't release unless it's too high a pressure, and then it will release.
Now Steve's eased up the valve, he must carefully clean the engine and the rest of the steamroller's components. After several hours of cleaning and reassembling, the steamroller is finally ready for a trial run.
I'm just about to test the steamroller now. I hope it's going to work. I'm sure Dieter hopes it's going to work as well. I've just filled it with water. I'm going to put 2 of these wax or paraffin tablets that burn, and going to light it up. This hasn't worked for donkey's years, so it's quite interesting to see whether it's going to work now. I hope it will. I've cleaned all the mechanical parts, and the piston was completely seized up. So I'm sure that was one of the reasons why it wasn't working. I can hear some steam, so that's the whistle here. Oh, yeah.
While the whistle's working, the steam seems no closer to making the steamroller move.
I've blown the burner out. I think it should have started going there, so I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to take it apart again and have a look and see why it wasn't turning. But there was certainly enough pressure there built up to run it. I'm hoping it's something simple. I don't know what it is at the moment without taking it apart.
Suzie has been restoring 3 well-loved but well-worn 1960s design icons. Now the leather panels are rejuvenated and the chrome frames shining, she can begin to rebuild the chairs.
Hey, Jay.
Hello.
Are you free?
I'm always free for you, girl.
Is there a chance you could come and help me with this job, please?
OK.
What I've got to do is to rivet these tags on around this chair. So would you be kind enough to hold it? Lovely.
Next, the leather seat panels must be secured to the frames.
So the key here is not to move the chair.
No, just moved it, didn't I?
Are you up for this?
I'm very up for this.
Are you? If we don't get this right, when you sit on it...
Oh, it's going to break.
It'll break. All right, let's have a look and see what we've got going on underside. Looking good. That's the idea.
So then it's just doing all the rest now?
Yep. Do you want to have a go?
Of course.
Of course.
How do I know when it's done?
Just another hit.
Bit up.
Yeah. We'll work on your hammering skills later, shall we?
But look, it's secure.
That's
the main thing.
That is absolutely secure.
What about you've got to test it out? Can you sit on it?
Go ahead.
All right.
Gently, though.
OK.
Just don't jump on it.
No, I'll just sit on it. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, that's all right.
I needed somebody to test it. I wasn't sure that anyone would want to.
Owner Jane is back to see the chairs that mean so much to her and her mother, who has dementia.
A little bit apprehensive because they were in quite a state of disrepair and it really needed lots of love. So I just can't wait to see what they look like. For me, doing this is all part of keeping Mum's memory alive. She's here, her memory's not. So I really can't wait to see that these chairs are a real lasting memory for me, for Mum, and for those times.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
So excited. I'm a bit nervous and a bit excited.
Yeah?
Why are you nervous?
Just hoping that they come through as well as I expected.
There's no pressure there.
No pressure at all.
Well, shall we?
Shall we? Okay. You ready? All right.
Wow. They just look brand new. That is amazing. Stunned at how different they look and how amazing, because they really were in a very, very sorry state. My mum would be over the moon, and Mum is in a nursing home now for dementia. That means she won't recognise. I hope she'll recognise them, but I know that the restorers should be absolutely tickled pink, so they're back in use.
Come here, Kel.
You'll make me cry.
Oh. No, it's good to see. It's good.
She will be absolutely overjoyed.
Yeah?
And I promised I wouldn't cry.
You're going to take these to see, so she can see them, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And, more than anything else, for me, it's about her treasures. You know, it's something that I'll always keep and always have because it's part of her. Thank you so much. I want a little hug, I think.
Oh, bless.
Thank you. Oh,
thank you. I'm pleased that you feel so deeply about the chairs.
Yeah.
It makes what I was able to do worth that much more for you.
It's incredible. It really is.
What a lucky find.
Absolutely.
So what we'll do is we'll get them all wrapped up and into the car, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Is that cool? Thank you for bringing these in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
Such a pleasure.
When I saw the chairs revealed, the significance of the chairs was brought back to life. And Mum is the last surviving member of her family now. So it's that kind of legacy living on of that, passing it forward. Restore treasures and enjoy them. And then the fun memories that go along with them.
Suzie might have delivered her repair back safe and sound, but Matt is all at sea with a stained-glass window. He's attempting to replace the broken sail.
One of the issues I've got with this is I don't actually have the exact colour for the sail. So I've got another piece of glass here, which is a fairly good match, but it's a very good match for the inner part like there, but it's not a good match for that. However, if I put 2 layers of this on, like that, I've got pretty much an exact match, which is absolutely perfect. It involves widening the lead as much as I can, just to accommodate 2 bits of glass. As Suzie and her father both came up with the colour scheme to this and the design, this is one part that I really, really want to get right. I can really imagine Suzie watching her father cut, and I've learnt from my father as well, so I've definitely got a similar experience to her. So I've scored the top of it, and tapping underneath just really releases it, and it causes the crack to go through the whole of the glass. So I'm just doing this to the underside of it, and I think that's gone all the way through, so I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. It's all gonna come apart. It's all breaking. Just gonna take this bit, and hopefully it's all gonna slot in after all of this. Here, just checking kind of the top there. Yeah, that looks perfect. There we go. All right, fantastic. So now time to cut the next bit.
Decorative glass dates back to ancient Rome. In the Middle Ages, the church adopted stained glass windows to allow those who couldn't read to learn the stories of the Bible.
There we go. I felt that. Just felt that go with my fingers, and there we go. The second piece, hopefully, it's going to be all right. I'm a bit concerned because when you're kind of pushing glass that's got a thin end to it, you're always worried about breaking it. So here, I'm just going to roll the lead over. Very happy with the way it's come out.
So far, Matt has used the original lead, but now he's tackling the most damaged area.
What's glaringly obvious with this is that the outside lead is just that little bit too mangled for me to be able to fit some glass in and reuse it, unfortunately. So what I'm doing is I'm cut this off, and I'm gradually slotting in the pieces again using the template, and there we go. The next stage is going to be the soldering.
By applying a molten alloy to the join, it heats and melds the leading together again. This method has hardly changed since the 12th century.
There you go, happy with that.
Once the larger repairs are carried out, Matt can turn his attention to the small fixes, pieces of glass that he wants to preserve rather than replace.
I'm just strapping this. The process of strapping is covering up a crack. So I'm just holding it down. It's going to hopefully carefully tack it on like that. Wait for that to set, which it has. I'll just go on the next bit. There we go. Looks like it's always been there.
Across the workshop, Steve has been struggling to get the vintage toy steamroller moving. After some careful tweaking, he's ready to try firing it up again.
This is the second test of the steamroller, and I'm hoping it's going to work this time. I've tightened and adjusted some of the seals and valves, and I've come outside because it does make a lot of smoke and steam.
This time the engine flickers into life, but not for long.
I'm trying to work out at the moment why, when I spin it, it will start going, and it'll start going really quickly, and then it slows down again. I think what's happening is that it builds up a head of steam, runs and uses up that energy, and then that dissipates, and then it slows down and stops again.
An hour of tinkering later, Steve comes to a difficult realization. This 85-year-old mechanism is no longer powerful enough to move the toy.
I probably could get this going, but it means taking all the old parts off and renewing them, and I'm not happy about that. I think it's more important to keep this in original condition, and because it looks lovely like this, and I'd be really, really happy to have this up on my shelf.
The steamroller has passed down the owner's family line for 85 years, and with plans to keep passing it on, Dieter is back to collect his treasured heirloom.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good.
I've really enjoyed working on your steamroller, and let's have a look at it.
Well, wow. Wow, you've done some magic with it.
Thank you.
It is, you know, when I first came, you said, well, you're trying to maintain the aging of it,
yes,
that you can see, and you've done that.
Thank you.
But it's fantastic, you know. I don't know how you've done it, but yes.
What would your father think of this now, and you looking after it the way that you've looked?
I think, you know, he would be really, really proud that you know, this that I looked after it, and that I'm also trying to pass it on. That I want to pass it on to my son to kind of create this tradition. I do hope, you know, I can only say I do hope he will treasure it as much as I did and my dad did.
So I have worked on the mechanical parts of this, and I have fired it up a few times.
Okay.
We've had a few issues with it, though.
Really?
It does run to an extent.
Yeah.
But doesn't actually drive along. But this spins around.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this was, you know, I mean, it was intended to be fired up, and, you know, I mean, I would be fine with us trying to fire it up and see what happens. I'm really up for it. Is this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'll get all the bits and pieces out.
Okay.
And,
okay.
This, most important, this is a fireproof.
All right. Yes.
Pad.
So.
Right, I'm going to turn it around like that so that I can spin the flywheel once it gets up to steam. When was the last time you saw it fired up?
It's probably, you know, if I say it's 40 years, you know, I feel I'm too old, but, you know, it probably is. I do remember that smell. I do remember that smell. It's something, you know, it stays with you. Hey! That's fantastic. That is really fantastic.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to blow it out now because I don't want it to do any more damage.
No. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. That's really good. You've done a brilliant job. Thank you very much. It's been much, much better than I could ever imagine. I mean, more than an icing on the cake, of course, was to see it fired up again and see it actually, back in operation. I didn't really expect it because I was too worried that it might not be able to do this anymore. He brought this back to life, and hopefully we can keep it like this. Fantastic.
Stained glass craftsman Matt has been overhauling a nautical window steeped in family history. The glass has all been cemented into place, and Matt is giving the piece a final polish.
I'm absolutely ecstatic how this has come out. Just the vibrancy of colour is so bright and happy and kind of joyous. It's really magical, actually. Glass it's a fantastic medium to be working with.
The finished window has attracted the attention of fellow expert Lucia.
Hi, Lucia.
Is it finished?
All right, yeah, it is.
Oh, my
really happy with it. I'll go and turn the light on. Ooh.
Matt, it's really beautiful.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, it sort of sings, really.
I
Song
know.
of the sea. We've got a bit of Macintosh going on here, haven't we? With all
Yeah,
these
it is a
little
bit.
squares.
Yeah.
But that is absolutely fantastic. There's a
Yeah.
lot of movement in it, isn't there?
Well, it's kind of like a story, isn't it, I guess? It's got
Which
the...
is what I love about this
Yeah.
whole thing, really.
Yeah.
Everything we do, there's a story to it, one
Yeah.
way or the other. I just love this workshop because of that.
The window is carefully transported to Suffolk, where Truja is awaiting its arrival.
Today is a particularly poignant day for us to look at the restored window. It's the anniversary of my mum and dad's wedding, but also very sadly the anniversary of my dad's death. So it's a pretty special day in many ways and a very sad day, but I'm hoping for both my mum and I it'll mean so much more to be able to look at Dad's work again, looking beautiful.
Truja has kept the restoration a complete secret from her mum, Ruth.
It's a very different day to what I was expecting, so I have no idea what she's planned. What is she gonna get?
I don't know.
You're not in on this either, eh? Oh my goodness. What have you got?
The big secret. So, Mummy,
What is it?
they fixed Daddy's window.
Wow. Unbelievable. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at it. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that incredible?
Oh, it looks beautiful.
It doesn't it? Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? We were married for 35 years. To have this as a legacy for my husband, it was a broken piece, and now it's a beautifully restored piece of stained glass done by my husband. And I get to see it on my wedding anniversary. Amazing.
I can't believe it's happened on this day because it feels like I'm giving you something to celebrate rather than feel really sad
Right.
about. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Grandpa's work, Caldy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's really good.
Isn't it amazing? What could be a really, really sad, hard day for her, I think has turned into quite a celebration of my dad's life and particularly his work. And it was just so lovely to see her face light up. She's so pleased, and I think she feels like Dad's right next to her at the moment.
What a legacy, eh?
Aww. Shall we see it in its final home? Here we go. Wow.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, and look how it fits. Just perfectly.
like, look. Look how the light shines through it, isn't that beautiful? I hope somehow your dad knows.
I'm sure he does.
Join us next time as more precious pieces are rescued.
I love it.
And their cherished memories restored. Wow. In the repair shop.